Hello, good morning, everyone. Those who have already joined this webinar. My name is Vishnu Paul, and I'm just one second. Let me go back. Yeah. So I represent the Mahindra University as Dean Academics. Good morning and welcome to this webinar on MTech, or that is PG and PhD programs that we have been offering. We will be offering from coming fall. PhD programs is already in existing. It started last fall. So just to get started on the presentation, let me go. This is our front side of our university. So we used to be known as Mahindra Ecole Center, but till last year, and then we became full-fledged university as Mahindra University since last May 2020. So it is formed as part of the Telangana state ordinance, government ordinance, which came in 2018. And we became formally university. Actually, then there was a lot of paperwork, and we became formally a university last May in 2020. So purpose of the university is to educate future citizens for and of a better world. Our missions are primarily to educate on interdisciplinary nature of science and technology, and its usefulness in humanities, ethics, and philosophy. We train semi-skilled leaders. That is our aim for both inclusive and sustainable progress, and provide balanced education with experience to entrepreneur of projects to solve complex challenges facing the society. We give a lot of emphasis on entrepreneurship. We have a full-fledged entrepreneurship department headed by a full professor. Then the university is sponsored by Mahindra Educational Institutions, a subsidiary of the Tech Mahindra, the flagship IT company. We have two interdisciplinary MTech programs that is being launched from this fall, and one is on. Just was something got wrong here. So one is on electrical vehicles, and the other is on the just one second. Something. Second one is autonomous vehicles, and the other one is on computer-aided structural engineering. That is, in short, is called, is abbreviated as CASE. My colleague, Professor Sridhar from electrical department, will be introducing to you about autonomous electric vehicles, and there will be another separate webinar on CASE. I think it is coming in a few days' time. So I would primarily be essentially I'll be covering our PhD program. So what is a PhD degree? It's as you know, it's called Doctor of Philosophy. It's derived from a Latin word, and it's the highest academic degree. It means philosophy means love of wisdom, and this highest degree is awarded to a candidate who has love for wisdom or attain excellence in wisdom. We research is RE of research. Actually, it is an acronym. It is a collection of two words. You can say re and search. So it is a systematic investigation by definition into a topic or field of study in order to establish new facts and reach new conclusions beyond what has been available in the literature. So there are a few steps to earn a PhD degree. I will just define them. You have to initially, once you get selected through interviews, you will get you'll get to do some coursework, regular coursework total of 24 credits for one who are coming with an MSc or BTech degree, and the ones who are coming with an MTech degree would have to do an 18 credit coursework. Steps 2, you get initiated to research and in defense of a comprehensive examination, which will come, which you'll have to complete within 18 months. So once you complete the coursework, you can discuss with your PhD advisory committee and your own research guide when to take a written test and followed by a seminar. So this constitutes what is known as the comprehensive examination. You have to clear that examination with at least scoring about 70% marks in each component. And then after the comprehensive exam is over, you start actually the research. Although you may be doing some amount of research during your coursework, depending on the group and the advisor with whom you work, and then formally you start a research work after on an identified topic, which would be decided by your advisor and you together after the comprehensive exam. Then step 4, after sufficient progress and publications, as per advice of the advisor, a pre-PhD seminar is to be given by the candidate in front of the PhD committee, and actually it is open to, it's a public lecture, so it is open to everyone in the institute. And you give a pre-PhD seminar if you have about your work that you have been doing for 2-3 years, and eventually after the pre-PhD seminar, if it is okay, if it is okay by your PhD committee, this is called Students Research Committee. So once it is cleared by them, then you start. Actually, you are asked to start writing your thesis work. So you write down your thesis work, and eventually you will submit it. But before in the process, which you don't have to do anything, the advisor actually suggests a panel of examiners, 4 examiners from India, external, and 4 external examiners from abroad in your subject area to the Dean Academics, and Dean Academics picks up one each from those 2 lists of examiners to be the examiner of your thesis. So once you finish your thesis, you submit it to the department, then the dean's office sends it to those external examiners. Typically, after about 8 to 12 weeks, normally 8 weeks time is given. After 8 to 12 weeks, you will be getting the reports submitted by the external examiners, which will be coming to the dean. And depending on the nature of the report, dean will then ask the advisor whether to go ahead with the oral presentation for PhD defense by you, or you need some amount of modifications or corrections in your thesis and so on. So once that is over, then you deliver a PhD thesis seminar, which would be announced publicly, and that would be anyone can attend it. But primarily, you would be judged by the committee, which would be primarily constituted by the advisor and your SRC research committee, besides the external Indian exam, who will normally physically be present here. These days it is done online everywhere, but hopefully by the time you people graduate, it will be all physical. So external examiner will come, ask you to present and ask you questions. Once everything is satisfactory, if the external examiner actually gets up and congratulates you, that means you have earned your PhD. So that would be the final stage. That's the step 6. Okay, and eventually, because of that, then depending on when the congregation is held at the university, you would be awarded formally the degree or handed over the degree by the chief guest on that particular day, in front of all degree awardees who would be attending, along with their parents, who would be listening to or attending that particular convocation. So these are the few steps that you will have to go through to get the PhD degree. Now, research at Mahindra University, Ecole Central School of Engineering, strongly emphasizes on interdisciplinary and applied nature We encourage international journal publications and also international conference publications. If your paper gets accepted in a conference, it has a very good probability that the institute will support you to attend one international conference if it is of a very good of stature or quality. Then you may be able to travel and present your own work. It will depend on the availability of funds, etc. But in general, they will be supported. We also encourage sponsored research by government agencies and industries. We have a large number of projects already secured by our faculty for the university, which is probably running about 4 crores now, 4 to 5 crores of total total grant of various projects, which was secured by our faculty from government agencies and some from industries. We encourage collaborative research with international groups and encourage participation in national mission level projects. So I start with presenting about different departments. Just to give you a quick flavor, it's not possible to give full details within this short time, but nevertheless, so this is start with the physics department in which I myself is a professor of physics. So along with me, there are 6 more faculty. So our broad areas of research of the physics department is optics and photonics, material science, optics and photonics, material science, and just one second. Oh, that I got into it. Just give me a minute. Yeah, this is the presentation. So broad areas of research are optics and photonics. Then we have materials and for magnetic memory and solar cell. Dr. Murtaza and Anil is involved in that. Then we also have work on done by our faculty colleagues on tunable all dielectric metasurfaces and microfluidics for targeted drug delivery. We do both, our colleagues do both theory and experiment. We have this, I can tell you with, I can proudly tell you that as a private university, we are one of the best, most equipped, we have most equipped laboratories in the university in India as a private university. One PhD student has already earned a degree, PhD degree, working with Professor Dibakar Roy Chaudhary of physics department, and it was a joint supervision with IIT Guwahati involved. That time we were not a university, so that's why the student got registered with IIT Guwahati, and then this has been already granted. So there are several research scholars who are now at advanced stages of getting the degree, and this time they will get all of them. Rest of them will get degree from Mahindra University. So metamaterials, metasurface, plasmonics, these are lot of very contemporary names for research in interdisciplinary nature in physics, electronics, and so on. Terahertz photonics and graphene, as you know, is a very popular material now. Nobel Prize was given a few years back for that material, and so some of our colleagues are working on those directions in physics. This gives you a glimpse of different equipment, so I will not go into details of that, but just you can see that these are all of these are pretty expensive equipments which have been funded either by the university or our faculty got it through the sponsored projects given by the government of India. This is surface analyzer, things like that. We have coating unit, etc., etc. Oh, why it is stuck? So this is TerraFlash. This is a very expensive, about 70 lakhs rupees, funded by the university for terahertz time domain spectroscopy. We have S parameter measurement workstations, large number of high-level computers. Then electron beam evaporator, Raman spectrometer is a very expensive equipment which we have to characterize materials. So these are through Raman spectroscopy. So these are different levels of high-level equipment which are available in the physics department. And then I move over to the electronics and electrical department. This gives you a glimpse of all the faculty who are involved in the department. Professor J.L. Bhattacharya is the head. Professor K.R. Sharma is a very well-known professor who was with IIT Kanpur. Then Sunil Bhushan is also, he's a BTech from IIT Delhi, and then he did a PhD in Urbana-Champaign and so on. So all this, as you can see, as I cannot go in one by one, but essentially you can see on the screen that their PhD is either from USA or from the UK or from IITs or from New Zealand and so on. One is also, also is in University of Idaho called Moscow in US, IIT Kharagpur and so on. We have recently we have three faculties who are relatively new to the department. One of these Professor Bhuvaneshwari, who is being shown here, she has come from IIT Delhi after a huge number of years experience there, and she has left IIT Delhi and came over to join the department. She's an IEEE fellow, and she is famous for power electronics, electrical vehicles, and so on for her research. And we have two more who has come from Intel, I think, Malaysia, and both of them had their PhDs from IIT Indore. So in research, to give you a flavor of the research, ongoing research in the EEE department, we have Internet of Things, architecture and computer architecture, extruder design control, shape memory, alloy characterization, controllability. These are some of the equipments. They do also a lot of work on robotics in conjunction with our colleagues from mechanical department. This is a 5G test bed. Some of our colleagues in electrical also work on communication, including the 5G. We have a complete 5G test bed, which is given to students for experience and carrying out experiments. Information communication technology with applications in communication engineering, smart mobility, exploring solutions for enhancing mobility, sustainable transport, air pollution, what is known as the green transport in the modern jargon. We have a very strong group on motor control for electric vehicle drive. We are actually trying to form a center of excellence on electrical vehicle, should be coming soon. There is a jargon known as FPGA, which actually stands for Field Programmable Gate Arrays, based a lot of implementation of advanced control and estimation of algorithms for motors. Battery management system, state of charge estimation using Kalman filters. For electric vehicle applications, some of the equipment are shown here in these figures. Lithium-ion battery setup for state of charge estimation and so on. We have faculty working on distributed control of DC-AC microgrid using renewable energy source, development of the same converter using lithium and NI LabVIEW. I mean, this is from modulation, from simulation purpose. Application of deep learning techniques is an AI-based techniques to power electronic applications, and cyber security and hardware level to power electronic systems. They also work on development and design development of charging station for electrical vehicles, smart charging of electrical vehicles, grid to vehicle, etc. Integration of battery supercapacitor systems for electrical vehicles, control and protection of DC-AC microgrid, and predictive control of offshore and onshore wind energy systems. So essentially, the emphasis on both energy and as well as electrical vehicle. Our computer science and engineering department is again a strong department. We have a fair number, about I think 13-14 faculties already there. A very senior faculty, head of the department is Professor Arya Bhattacharya, and we have a new faculty senior colleague who has joined us, whose name is Professor Arun Pujari, well known from Hyderabad University's computer science department. He was also, before joining here, he was the vice chancellor of Central Rajasthan University. He is on Internet of Things and artificial intelligence expertise. So they are, and the rest of the faculty are all very young, all coming with a PhD degree from IITs or USA, Delhi University, JNTU Hyderabad, and IIT Indore, and so on. Also IIT Madras, we have one Dr. Bhanu Kiran, who did his PhD from Central Supale, which is our French partner. And IIT Hyderabad, also we have a PhD from IIT Hyderabad, which is very well known. And amongst the new IITs, like Indore, the next one is IIT Ropar. So we have two colleagues from IIT Ropar in the computer science department. Research in the computer science department, you can roughly, I can roughly go skim through the, the basic topics they work on. Automated synthesis of neural network architectures, novel deep learning architectures, fuzzy clustering algorithms for big data, transfer learning, natural language processing, which is well known as NLP. In short, social networking computing, social network related computing, video and text processing, and generative adversarial networks. These are the jargons which I don't understand completely all of this, but these are given to me by computer science department. But these are the areas that you will be working. You can, any of you who gets to join computer science department may be able to work. Digital twins and system prognostics, those who are from computer science department, computer science background who are listening to it will be able to appreciate this kind of jargons. Evolutionary algorithms, autonomous systems, theoretical computer science, information security of cyber physical systems, a very modern term, cyber physical systems, computer networking, wireless sensor networks, high performance computing, in short known as HPC, is a very modern jargon in computers, big data analytics, very important subject today, information retrieval, software engineering, and augmented reality and virtual reality. So these are all related to what you know as artificial intelligence or applications of artificial intelligence. So these are the a large number of topical areas in which a computer science, a PhD candidate joining computer science can work with our faculty. As I said, all the faculty at MU have PhDs, and they are all PhD from very reputed institutes, either from IITs in India or Hyderabad, central universities like Hyderabad Central University, and rest of them are coming with, have joined us with PhDs from typically from USA and one or two from France. Computing and humanities. So humanities and computing, this is also another new sociological topic which a computer science can handle. So this is also another area where our faculty is working. We have a very good visual computing facility which goes by the name of supercomputer, a type of supercomputer which is supplied by this company NVIDIA here, and a snapshot of this supercomputer is shown here from NVIDIA. Next comes to the mechanical engineering department. So here we have again a very strong group of faculty. Present head of the department is Professor Bhaskar Tamba. He comes with a lot of industry experience from GE. He had a PhD from IIT Madras. Here is Professor Ranjit Kunath, who is a PhD from Harvard University. He was the previous head and a very active researcher. And there are several other colleagues. You can see most of them are either from have a PhD background from either from USA or IISc Bangalore or IITs in India. Georgia Institute of Technology is one colleague here. Deepseth, he is from École Centrale de Nantes, that is from France. They are one of our partner institutes, and so on. Harsh Kalathur, who is a recent addition to the department about a year and a half back from University of Wisconsin, Madison. Theoretical solid mechanics, these are areas that they work on. I'll list out a large number of topical names where an engineering, mechanical engineering student interested to carry out PhD at MU can have the option to join. Theoretical solid mechanics, and new computational methods in solids, wave propagation in solids, frictional instabilities, fracture mechanics, Oxide thin films, a role of interface in performance of oxide thin films. Tribological behavior of the science of fluids. The tribological behavior of titanium-based alloys is for aerospace applications, and also one can work on tribological characterization of certain alloys using pin on disc tribometer that we have here, an equipment. DM-based modeling of reinforcement and pull-out behavior of geogrids. Development of high-performance structural dampers for vibration absorptions. That is an important topic, including for automobiles as well as aircrafts. Development of novel lead-free piezoelectric ceramic composite rivaling other materials. Design and development of mechanical metamaterials for diverse applications. This Kalathur does this work. Constitutive modeling of B-modified certain alloys goes by the name of titanium-64. Microstructure sensitive modeling of wear behavior of B-modified Ti-64. Modeling comminution in granular materials, applications to fusion bed reactors, and development of prototype high field pulsed magnet up to about 5 Tesla. Again, I will continue. There are more areas where they work. Biomedical, there are a lot of work and interest on robotics. Actually, we are starting off with a new BTech program from this fall under the name of Mechatronics, which involves a lot of work on robotics, mechanical and electronic engineering. Is an interdisciplinary topic. So biomedical robotics or exoskeleton wearable devices. There's a lot of surgeons, modern surgeons, many of the top ranking hospitals, the doctors use robots for surgery. Development of mobile robot platform. Investigation of chip formation uses issues affecting improved productivity of metals, computational fluid dynamics and heat transfer, Monte Carlo array simulation, radiation of radiation heat transfer, solar absorbers, multi-phase flow modeling, etc., for energy storage. We also have graphic user interface, that is the development of GPU-based tools for cutting force and power prediction using mathematical models. So both theoretical and experimental work both are pursued by mechanical engineering colleagues, theoretical fluid dynamics and dynamical systems theory. Development of effective thermal management systems for electric vehicles, battery pack, etc., during fast charging, discharging. Very modern topic of contemporary interest. Multifunctional composites, energy harvesting and storage, another topic of great contemporary interest. Lightweight composite structures for things like metal aircrafts or fighter planes, composite structures, lightweight composite structure, additive manufacturing, again in a very modern jargon. And application areas include microfluidics, lab-on-a-chip devices for medical purposes, micro-robotics, and bio-inspert locomotion. Metallographic sample preparation, heat transfer treatment facilities, equipments that we have in the mechanical department. Just a snapshot, but these are very fairly expensive but very useful equipments that you can work on if you wish to do experimental work in mechanical engineering department for a PhD degree. Testing facilities, we have this kind of hardness tester of different types. These are shown 3 different types here. We have a very good ultra modern lathe machine, numeric lathe machine in the workshop. Now, they also work on how to bring products to life with 3D printing. We have a good 3D printing facility and laboratory. So these are some of the snapshots of different things that you can do with 3D printing. Engineering design. So these are for design work, mostly backed up by certain expensive high-level softwares. So you can make use of that to design different components or devices that you would like to carry out for within the mechanical engineering discipline. Robot magician. So this is robotics, robots which are shown here. Just I think this one, yeah. So this is a pretty Ultimaker resolution 3D printer, high quality 3D printer. Applications in shop. RoboMuse is a robotic movement which has been developed by our colleagues in collaboration with the IIT Delhi's mechanical department. They have a very advanced robotics group there. You can see here. I hope it works. Yes, it's a flight simulator, heavy vehicle simulator, etc. That you can see from this short video. By the way, our mechanical engineering, I do not have a slide of that, but our mechanical engineering department faculty has recently developed a new a machine which is something like automatic sanitizers, which is driven by a motor, and it is sanitizes with shining ultraviolet light. So it can be used to a robot carries over the instrument all across the departments or rooms or corridors and so on to sanitize automatically. And it has lots of sensors. It was developed jointly by one of our former students along with the faculty, Dr. Deep Seth, and some amount of input that came from IIT Delhi. So this is another SCARA robot that we have from ABB company. This is another one that is we have in the lab. Just how the battery pack is prepared, a snapshot of that, and so on. Development of electrical e-bike. So these are different battery pack, bike frame, BLDC motor, power transmission, etc., etc. All this can be completely from concept to design to execution, and getting the e-motor is possible at our institute. This is the Department of Civil Engineering, where we have again a group of very good colleagues, very good and qualified faculty. We have one very senior Professor Ganesh Babu, who has retired from IIT Madras. He was also director of Central Road Research Institute, I think, of CSIR for some time. Prabhakar Singh is currently our HOD in Civil Department, and several faculty from IIT Bombay, IIT Hyderabad, they are PhDs from those or IIT Hyderabad, etc., etc. They are there in the civil engineering department. Most recently, we joined two lady professors, lady faculty colleagues from in the physics department. In the civil department. One is Vishalakshi Kokula. We call her Vishalakshi. She's a PhD from IIT Delhi and had a lot of experience on piezoelectric based sensors for civil structures, and she also expertises on bamboo based earthquake proof structures. A big project is being submitted to one of the funding agencies on the topic, and we have an environmental science expert who recently joined, Jyoti Kaintola. She had a PhD from IIT Guwahati in the area of environment science, which is on the environment science is also compulsory course for all our undergraduate students. Now, the different areas where they work is sustainable pavement solutions. You can read out. I don't want to read out the full things here. So they have our colleagues, some of our colleagues in civil department work on sustainable pavement solutions, then vehicle emissions for real world driving cycles, and traffic conditions to estimate emissions. That is actually a problem of great importance in so-called polluted world today. So some of them work on the measurement of vehicle emissions and how to reduce that from vehicles. Electrical vehicles, estimating emission factors from electrical vehicles and comparing the life cycles, etc., and cost of to reduce the cost of electrical vehicles and conventional IC engines. The super high strength strain hardening composites and their applications. So these are essentially materials related research work. Composites with high strength, lightweight, and machinability machinable, lightweight, high-strength materials they work on. Important for structures, civil structures, impact, blast, and temperature resistance of structural composites, and ultra-high strength and performance of structural materials. We have a center of excellence on, so before that, development of geopolymer concrete mixes to meet strength and durability, quality control of pavement layers, earthworks through non-destructive testing, study of geosynthetic reinforced pavements constructed and construction with waste materials, information and communication technology applications in transport engineering, transit-oriented development, impact on travel behavior, smart mobility as exploring solutions for enhancing mobility, green transport, sustainable transport with less air pollution. They also do numerical modeling and analysis of heritage structure. There's a very interesting scope of work that you can do here with a couple of our 2-3 faculty colleagues here. We have a center of excellence on that. There are heritage structures analysis. They recreate the heritage structure in the lab and see what were the positive points or advantages that we had in those structures, and how to they analyze, and also how to retain their durability, and so that they do not decay with time. The structural health assessment and monitoring of like RCC, reinforced cement structures, steel historical structures, and so on. Structural damage identification, quantification using techniques of artificial intelligence. We have a faculty colleague from computer science who is very heavily involved in this work, applying artificial intelligence techniques or science of that in this structural damage identification and quantification. Development of smart structures using wireless sensors, prediction of aftershocks using machine learning and again artificial intelligence, controlled demolition of reinforced concrete structures, effect of vehicle impact on reinforced concrete structures. Like for example, if you have too many vehicles going on the same bridge at a time or get stuck, so what is the load bearing capacity, how to measure it, and so on. So these are this goes under the name of civil engineering structures health monitoring. So this group does a lot of work on that. So these are some of the equipments that is available for you to work in civil engineering in case you join for PhD at Mahindra University. You have you can just see that these are different equipments, which are a lot of equipments actually civil engineering related, available in the civil engineering department, which you can make use of if you need to in connected with your PhD level research here. As you know, the civil engineering nowadays relies on large number of softwares for structure analysis and so on, and design, etc. So these are some of the softwares that we have. This ANSYS is very well known, Fluxys, 2D ANSYS, TN or Diana, FISIM, traffic simulation, and Bentley's tools, 42 softwares connected with that. As each of them is calling, we are calling them as a tool. So these are also available in civil engineering department. Now coming to Department of Chemistry. We have right now 3 faculty, but actually another faculty, outstanding faculty, is going to join in July from Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Hyderabad campus. So I don't have, she has not, as a lady, she has not joined yet. So I have not put her photograph here, but she has accepted and is going to join soon in July. So broad areas of research here by the faculty in the electrical department is development of new routes to functional inorganic materials. This is a broad area of research, and design and synthesis of new single source molecular precursors. A lot of this work of chemistry department faculty research is focused on nanothics or nanoscience. Selective CVD, which is known as chemical vapor deposition of main group of chalcogenides. Chalcogenides is a class of materials which have good transmittivity in and good material property for infrared applications. And nanostructure phase change memorial materials, Phase change memory is a very hot topic of research. Nanostructure, thermoelectric materials, design and functioning of a redox flow battery, cluster chemistry, design of nitrogenous that mimics for denitrogen reduction. I may mention here, since I just mentioned about a couple of topics related to nanoscience, we are also starting a BTech in nanotechnology from this fall 2020 at the BTech level. Oxides and surface modifications, nitrides morphology control synthesis. We have a good research lab, very well equipped. Composite oxide nanostructures for photocatalytics, water treatment. When it comes to the mathematics department, we have a mathematics department offers several mathematics courses to our undergraduate students, and we have a new BTech which was introduced last year under the name of computation and mathematics. So these are the faculty, my faculty colleagues. All of them has PhDs from IITs or one from University of Hyderabad. The rest of them are all from different IITs, mostly from several from IIT Madras, one from IIT Roorkee also. Head of the department is Dr. Satyanarayana, who is the associate professor in mathematics. So they work on things like PTA, partial differential equation, and Monte Carlo simulation based numerical techniques, which are also used for finance and share market predictions, etc., which can be used with financial mathematics. So you can even have an opportunity to work in financial mathematics as a PhD candidate. Analysis application of various reinforced learning algorithms, which are mostly meant for computer and also to solve problems in finance, and mathematical and data-driven modeling of various intervention strategies impacting on epidemic evolution and control like COVID. Development of rural radial basis, functional based grid-free methods for PDE applications of fluid flow and heat transfer problems. Radial basis function based grid-free methods for solving PDE partial differential equations and applications of fluid flow and heat transfer analysis. Partial differential equation based image processing. Image processing is a very strong interdisciplinary subject, as you know, that satellites are taking imageries, using imageries take pictures of Earth for different regions, and then they need to do an image processing analysis to find out what those particular areas are rich with materials or fishes and so on. So image processing with the help of partial differential equations is pursued by our mathematics department colleagues too. Very interesting work. Finite difference schemes for nonlinear partial differential equations and so on. As you know, that mathematics and physics are the founding science for any engineering. So we being an engineering institute, and in particular we are also in interdisciplinary in nature. So a lot of physics and mathematics research is done at the university. Developing fractional calculation for numerous applications like characterizing dynamical process and image processing. Then comes finally our humanities and social science department is one of the quite big departments, because our university emphasizes a lot on science and science, technology, and liberal arts. Here is Yajulu Meduri. He is a professor in humanities, although he has an engineering background and PhD in engineering from University of Wisconsin. But he has moved away from pure engineering and teaches subjects like organization and behavior, etc., in humanities department for our engineering students. Salami Benhar, the lady with the PhD from Andhra University, she is the HOD. Professor Rajkumar Patare is our professor of entrepreneurship, Shiv Darsini, and so on. You can see a lot of ladies under the HSS department. Kumudam, she is a PhD in French, and she teaches from French language here. Okay, then we have more colleagues in this department. As you can see, there's a French lady here who is involved with French, teaching French. We have also faculty who has their degrees from Film Institute from Pune. This is LB Prasad, again a film institute, Tamalpur, and so on. So their research work encompasses English literature, American literature, Russian philosophy, country and philosophy, religion and philosophy, Baroque literature, world literature, and phonetics. Gender studies, more specifically, gender studies related topics, women's writing, theories of feminism, Indian writing in English and translation, cultural studies, popular culture, urban studies, leadership and behavioral training, quality management, productivity maintenance, higher education, and so on. Learn machines and low-cost automation. So there we have also some very good multimedia labs for making films and so on. So I'm more or less finishing now. Learning and development. These are the research topics. These are some of the equipments or lab facilities that you have. Those who would like to work in humanities related to practical applications, competence mapping, employer branding, consumer behavior, reflective thinking, and so on. So on. Emotional intelligence, very modern jargon, EI, English language education, ELE, teacher training, etc. Teacher competition. So with that, I finish my presentation. With regard to the options for those who are looking for an opportunity to join Mahindra University as a PhD student, uh, and you have these different areas of engineering and science to work, and also scope for those who are interested to work in humanities. As of now, we have about 40 PhD students who have already joined and they're undergoing this pre-PhD coursework. So I'm looking for adding another 40 to 50 PhD students this year. So good luck to all of you, those who are interested. And I will now pass on my mic to my colleague, Dr. Sridhar Medishetty, who is the professor on EV in electrical engineering. Over to Medishetty, please.
Thank
Sridhar,
you,
you
sir.
take over.
Thank you very much, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
So now I would like to share my screen. So can you please stop sharing the screen, sir?
Yeah, I will do that. Has it gone?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sharing my screen.
Okay.
Yeah. Good morning, all. Myself, Dr. Sridhar Madichetty, working as an faculty at Mahindra University in the Department of Tribuli. Today, I would like to give you a brief introduction about a newly started MTech program in autonomous electric vehicles. So let's start a little humble beginning with our little background of electric vehicles. By definition, electrical vehicle will use an electric motor for propulsion rather than the gasoline powered motor. Besides, there are electric cars, bikes, motorcycles, boats, aeroplanes, and these are all there, and trains even. These are all powered by the battery electric vehicles. So who invented this electric vehicle is uncertain, as several inventors has been given credit. So it started early 1828. A Hungarian professor Jevrik invented a small scale model car. But after a certain time, due to the less range of battery powers, and due to the charging infrastructure, this electric vehicle were disappeared from the market in 1835. Perhaps in 1970s, when the OPEC countries imposed a oil embargo, then this electric vehicle has pick up momentum again. So these these electric vehicles has undergone so many changes, and uh, so many changes, and change is only the constant in life. As most of these electric vehicles are being used nowadays because of its low maintenance cost, and EV electric vehicles doesn't have noise on their own, and it has a low running cost, and no more fuel price hikes. Nowadays the petrol rates are being hiked every day, so these vehicles are being used almost everywhere across the world. Now it's taking momentum nowadays, and even it has environmental friendly, and it is even having the government incentives, and EVs are the future proof. So with the momentum took place in the batteries, in the year 2010, the price per kilowatt hour of the battery was around 1000 USD. When it is coming to 2020, it is less than 100 USD. So the price of the batteries are coming down, due to which the electric vehicle range has been increased. At the same time, the government has taken the initiatives for this environmental friendly, and so due to which what happens, the electric vehicles has taken a momentum, and it increases nowadays on the roads. So even the electric vehicles has nowadays has 400-mile capacity in a single charge, and even this electric vehicle charging infrastructure is also being addressed for all the country. And I mean, coming to this, people are not even satisfied with the normal electric vehicles, and they even wanted to have more level of automation. So there are different level of automation, where starting from level 0 to level 5, where it doesn't have any automation feature in level 0, where there are some sort of automation features, such as like automatic braking, and sometimes with wipers, rain wipers, automatically in the level 2 of autonomous vehicles. Whereas in level 3, it still requires some sort of human intervention, but still it doesn't it'll work on its own at certain conditions. So people are expecting more and more in these autonomous vehicles. And if you see a graph how these autonomous vehicles are going in future, so it is very clear that the people are wanted to go for autonomous vehicles in near future. So for this, there are plenty of job opportunities that is going to come in this EV industries. So it's starting from the mainly from this scientific research group, and even it starts from this power electronic design engineers, battery management system engineers, powertrain modeling, component testing, high voltage component testing development. So there are so many sort of job opportunities that are there in EV industry at present, and that are going to come rapidly in coming years. So taking this into consideration, our Mahindra University has started a program on autonomous electric vehicles. So which where the electric vehicles intelligence and connectivity, all these three together are coming under a single umbrella. So this program is starting from the fall 2021. So we have designed this course over 62 to 62 credit course. In the semester 1, the student will be having for 4 subjects and 2 laboratories and 1 design project. So these subjects, such as the power electronics and drives, powertrain architecture, embedded systems for automobiles, and intelligence for automobiles. And even we have the 2 labs of power electronics and architecture lab, and embedded system for automobiles lab. So in fact, in order to tell this in little more in depth, I have taken a simple image, where you can see a autonomous vehicle, where you can see electric vehicle. It has composed with onboard charger, AC DC converters, inverters, traction inverters, and all the power electronics technology will be dealt in the first semester of our program. In the second semester of our program, in the first semester, even we have started with some sort of intelligence technique and an introductory course. In the second semester, we're going to start with a battery management system, which is the major cost component chunk in the electric vehicle. Then we are going to have a digital image processing and computer vision for self-driving cars, which is a newly started subject, and vehicular communication networks. And we do have some electives, and you have to either you have to choose an elective from the bunch of pool of electives. So we have in the semester 2 a dedicated lab is been given for the battery management system and for the controls as well, and there will be an communication networks lab as well. And as I said earlier, in the semester 1 and semester 2 there will be a project that is basically on design project, which will be mainly focused on certain hardware topics. The MTech students are expected to design some sort of hardware components, hardware designs in their by taking a supervisor from their respective mentors. And so in pictorial representation, we are going to see in the second year of some different sort of sensors, intelligent mechanism, and the battery management systems. So we talk about lidar, cameras and computer vision, radar, simulation, video systems, and all those autonomous driving systems are we are going to cover in the semester 2. So, and in the semester 3, which is more important, is the safety and standards. So we are introducing the safety and standards for the autonomous vehicles in the semester 3, and you'll be having even 2 electives, which is followed by the master thesis along with its capstone project. So there will be a master thesis. It's like for 6 credits that will be there in the semester 3. And we have a full-fledged full-fledged semester dedicated for the master thesis. This can be done. We are in a talk with some of the electric vehicle companies as well, where the student will go and do his thesis in the respective industry, and sometimes they can even do under the supervision of the mentors who will be allotted at the university level. And we have a pool of electives that is from the sensors and controls in electric vehicles, where it will talk about different parts of sensors that are there, that are being used in the electric vehicles and autonomous vehicles. And we do have electives from the deep learning applications for self-driving cars, which is a compulsory elective. Either we have to take in the second semester or third semester. And we do have elective of charging infrastructure, which is most important. There are different kinds of charging protocol that has been introduced, starting from the JB by T protocol, CHAdeMO protocol, and these CCS, Bharat EV protocols. There are so many protocols are there. So this in-depth discussion about these charging protocols and the real-time implementation and the and the lab. We will also show you all those things in the lab, how the real-time can be implemented, and the programming of all those charging infrastructure protocols also can be discussed in this particular course. And we do have electives from this intelligent transportation systems and communication system is in automobiles, which is a physical layer design, which is more important, and design of infotainment systems, and the testing and verification of the vehicular systems as well. So we do have all these potential electives are being offered. So the student has to choose either in the second semester or in the third semester. And we have if you see our credit and course distribution, so total EV we have mainly given to 26% of the total credits being given to the EV core, especially the electric vehicle course, and 21% will be given to this intelligence core, and 14 and 15% will be given to these projects and electives respectively, and 24%, which is a major chunk, will be given to the master's thesis. And as Professor Pal has already mentioned, we have a pool of expert faculty. He is Professor Jayal Bhattacharya. He's a professor and head who is expert in machines, and he is Professor Sunil Bhushan, who is expert in electromagnetic and digital signal processing, and Professor Arya Bhattacharya, who is expert in machine learning algorithms, and Professor Bhuneshwari, and she's expert in power electronics and drives, and Professor Bhargav Rajaram, he is expert in embedded systems, and Professor Sayantan Hajra, he's expert in signals and communication. Professor Gopinath and Professor Krishna Chaitanya Bulusi is expert in the networks, and myself, Dr. Sridhar, in power electronics and control systems. So we have developed so many projects in-house, so I'm just showing a glimpse of it. So we have developed our in-house software to control a induction motor. This can be extended to BLDC motor, synchronous motor, and all other different kind of motors as well. So we have designed based upon LabVIEW software, and we have even designed some sort of data logger where the intelligence aspects come into picture. The data is more important. And we have for this smart embedded systems, we have even designed the LED drivers, and we have designed our GB protocol in the softwares. So where it is our own protocol design with our own AC, instead of buying from outside, we have designed our own protocol. And we do have a real-time lab scale setup which is connected with grid connected inverters, SCADA systems, and batteries, which are even connected to the renewable energy sources such as photovoltaic systems. So we do have big setup of this electric vehicle charging infrastructure in our lab, where the charging of the electric vehicle can be done by using the solar photovoltaic systems as well. And we have even our expertise in battery management system, where we have developed our own battery management system to balancing the charge of these batteries. And we are using LabVIEW based SBRIOS and DSP controllers to programming purposes. So the present lab facility, as already Professor Paul was discussed, so I'll not much go, but specifically to the Master of Technology course, the lab facilities are Power Electronics and Machines Laboratory and Embedded Systems for Automobile Lab, Battery Management System and Control Labs, and Vehicular Communication Network Lab will be there for these lab facilities. And this program outcomes, the students will be graduating from this program are expected to have able to comprehend and understand the various components of electrical vehicle design as individual as well as a whole, and to be able to conceptualize the design and implement of electric drive system for autonomous vehicles, and to be able to characterize and design the battery management system, and to be able to comprehend and understand the nature of intelligence in automobiles, and to be able to synthesize the intelligent mechanism, and to be able to design and implement intelligent transportation systems, and to be able to conceptualize, analyze a fully autonomous vehicle. So these are the program outcomes expected when the student is graduating from this course. So as we have already given on our website the eligibility and all these conditions. So the students who are from even the branches such as mechanical, electrical, and mechanical, automobile, and mechatronics branch are also eligible to apply, provided they'll be completing some sort of a prerequisite course. So that is basic electrical engineering and basic electronics engineering, control systems, power electronics, and programming either in C or Python languages. So the complete details are available in the website. So the admission procedure also is given clearly in the website. So there are two routes of admission. In the first routes, the applicants who are with valid GATE score with a percentile of above 80% will be called for interview, and for those students who are not get qualified, they should appear for a written test followed by interview process. And one fascinating thing is the students will be able to given the stay fund of 15,000 rupees per month for those who are qualified with GATE with the free boarding and lodging. So with this, I'll close my presentation. If you have any questions, you are allowed to ask. Thank you. Yeah, if you have any questions, please.
Dr. Shiv, there are questions in the question panel. Just undock it, you'll be able to see the questions.
Yeah, I think these are related to our PhD course. Maybe Professor Fall can give the.
You can just redirect to the 11 questions to him, please.
Any question?
Also, there's one question. Hello.
Yeah, what is it?
Here. That is one question
Yeah.
on what kind of research, PhD programs on entrepreneurship.
Oh, yes. You can also do PhD in entrepreneurship. We have actually, I missed one new colleague who joined few months back. He has a PhD from, I think, Netherlands, Ph.D. And Professor Rajkumar Patate, who has a very wide experience. So you can I'm not an entrepreneur subject expert, but you can contact the Department of Humanities Science, where Professor, you'll get on the website the contact address of contact email ID of the entrepreneurship Professor Rajkumar Patate. You can ask him about the nature of problems that he would be interested to guide for PhD in entrepreneurship. I may mention, which I missed, that we do encourage a lot of entrepreneurship even to our undergraduates, and even for a PhD student, you can form a company here if it is a very very attractive proposal. So in which you are working, so that you will be guided by Professor Rajkumar. So it will depend on your interaction with the entrepreneurship professor. Of course, just to answer your question is yes, you can do a PhD on entrepreneurship. There are many dimensions related to entrepreneurship. You know, how to start up, what would be the tenets of a startup company, and so on. What kind of venture capital funding that you can. Venture capital is also a part of the entrepreneurship. So you will be working on some such problems, but details you will have to contact the Professor Rajkumar through the website. You get the contact.
I have a question from Mr. Shiv Prasad Ariel. He asked for, he is from Nepal and he wanted to apply for MTech course, but he doesn't have a gate. So, in case if you don't have a gate score.
Yeah, they have to write an a written test, and that you will be conducting. No? Those who are non-gate.
Correct. Yeah. So those who are non-gate, they have to appear for the written test, followed by the interview.
Professor Pal, there are a couple of questions on part-time PhD program.
Okay, part-time PhD, we have not launched it as yet because we just started last year. First batch of PhD students joined in last September. So what has happened is that we decided that let us first proceed with the regular student, and then we will open up slowly part-time PhD program. We may do it even in this, it is not yet decided. The main problem with the part-time PhD program is that our PhD program has a component which is coursework. So we'll have to see a part-time PhD candidate who, if he is based in Hyderabad, his company or employer allows him or her to come at least for the morning session up to lunch or up to noon, then we can plan for PhD, part-time PhD students also intake, provided they are able to do the pre-PhD courses. So that is a bottleneck, which somehow it has to be overcome by the candidate himself or herself. Or the candidate stays here, takes leave from the company, employer grants him or her with or without pay, that is up to you. you can stay here for a year and finish up all the coursework, and then you can do part-time PhD work through networking and once in a while coming to the institute. That is important.
So our last question is on stipend for the students, PhD students.
It's not very clear sound. Can you please repeat the question?
There's a question on stipend which will be given to the PhD students.
Oh, okay.
Professor Pal, there's one more question which says MSc in computer science in post graduation. Can they apply for PhD in computer science?
Is it already postgraduate?
Correct, sir.
That's okay. They can apply. These details are there in Rakesh can explain. Our market admission team can explain to you about the admission announcement, which is already there on the website. So you can see whether you qualify for joining a PhD program.
So for all the attendees, we will type in the admission link on the chat window. We request you to log on to that so that information will be there. I'll also drop in my contact details. If you have any further questions, please reach out to me on admission pages. So I think we are done with the questions, sir. I think we can wrap up.
Okay. On June 5th at 5 p.m. there is a presentation webinar on other PG program, namely computer-aided structural engineering case. So Rakesh, I think we are done, no?
Yes, sir. We can done, sir.
So we can sign off now, or you will automatically sign us off?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do that, please. Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you very much.